Yeah, so but yeah, to walk you through it is kind of I want to make YouTube videos where it's progressively teaching someone how to get to a better point where they don't feel overwhelmed all the time. Like you mentioned earlier, right? I can actually relate to that kind of feeling overwhelmed. I don't know, but it's strange to make that into reality. I guess it would be speaking about my experience, then speaking about, I guess I can write this down differently as well. I feel like, I think, where do you start? My experience, uh, experience would be like number one, I think, and then probably go about other people as well, which would be real life, chat, comments, comments, oh shit, comments. So kind of showcasing other people see as you know. No, but showcasing I feel this. That I think yeah. So it's my experience. I like I can actually write that down as well. I feel this. Then this would be others feel this. Others feel this. Then this would be followed by not surprising. And then I would speak about like attention economy, I guess. Something like that. Yo, Linda, danke. Like and subscribe. Yeah, but not I don't think it's not surprising because then you have to say why would be mm, it's not surprising. Then you have to kind of say why it's not surprising, and that would be because of attention economy. Mm, attention economy is kind of the reason for it. Mm, my experience, I feel this. Other people, real life chat, comments, news, I guess statistics, maybe even studies, studies, studies. Hmm. So others feel this. That's not surprising. Attention economy. Mm. Have this feeling you're not alone. I'd say you're not alone. I did actually also like that part. Oh, good enough. See you tomorrow. My experience, I feel this. This poses this problem. This problem. Other people also feel this. That's not surprising because attention economy. You're not alone would be the next thing to say. Um, I feel this because, and this gives me this problem. I've heard other people experience this as well. It's proven. I can kind of say like others experience this, maybe proof through statistics. Put that on here. That is not surprising because there is an attention economy, but you're not alone with it. And that is first steps to bettering yourself. So I think knowing that it's normal. This is normal. This is normal. But it shouldn't be. Or no, you don't have to, I guess it shouldn't be, you don't have to accept it maybe. It shouldn't be shouldn't shouldn't be slash you you don't have to accept it. Because also something else that might strengthen that would be it's only going to get worse if you do. Is only worsening because of greed. Not too much fear mongering, I guess. Too much fear mongering. See this as a co-working. Go work with me. I could say not that big. That looks kind of off. I'm not gonna lie. Let's put that like here. Yo, Anna, thanks for the creeper. I appreciate the creeper. How's that look? Oh, it's kind of ass. Wait, let me put it to the right. Bitte. Danke. Um, why are you still up? Like, are you usually up at this hour, or what's up? So something keeping you up? Hm. Nee, hab Urlaub. Chill. Nice. So, but isn't it also funny when we don't have work, we stay awake for longer? I think that's wild. That like we want to do it just because we have a vacation or something. I always do it when I had a vacation. My sleep schedule was ruined so badly when that happened. How does this work? Um, I'm figuring it out a little bit. Ich bin zu müde, Notizen zu verstehen. Ah, damn. I think that's usually an issue actually, because yeah, it is actually kind of hard to join in at random points as well to kind of understand what I'm talking about. I can walk you through it, no problem. Same for Virginia, since you asked. Um, I kind of so I think two things. I want to document how I'm figuring out. I just these things. I want to document how I'm figuring out how to get from point A to point B. Point A for most people in my experience is I wrote this down kind of I feel overstimulated by quite a few things, and I think that's not that's the problem is I feel negative impact on my life because of that. Um, when you're overstimulated, normal things that are beneficial sometimes seem hard to do, and also it gives you this feeling of anxiety, and that's kind of what other people by what overstimulated by what you mean? Well, I rarely have any silence, like real silence. I notice I listen to music very often, very often. Then other times I watch content. I think those are the two main things. Those are the two main things that overstimulate me and steal so much of my time, like of my potential. Even I think a lot of people. I'm not. I don't even think this is an opinion. Like a bunch of people miss out on their opportunities, you know? Um, I'm too next level of mentally ill for this. Nah. The point of this is I want to say that that you're not alone in it. Like, unless you got something else going on I don't know about. Yeah, I kind of want to make a lane where people can see how can I get from this point where I feel overstimulated by these things, specifically by technology. I mean, I have OCD. What does that? I guess I don't have too much experience with that, so I don't exactly know how that shows itself in life. You know, it's kind of. Does that mean does a person with that feel anxious, or what is the feeling that it causes? Yeah, I know upset. I know what it is. I know what it is, but I don't exactly know what feeling it causes in you. Like, is it a feeling of I need to control everything around me, or is it a feeling of things overwhelm me? Um, mm, I think in those directions it's probably going. Maybe things are too much for me, but I don't think that's what OCD means. Probably. But yeah, also Anna, it's fine that you're too tired to immediately understand. I know what it means. I know what it means. But I don't exactly know what it entails, I guess is what I want to say. Yeah. Oh, you're German, yes. Um, yeah, the point of this is kind of to show you how I'm figuring out how to get past this, how to kind of make your life more peaceful, analog, calm, be able to focus on what you actually want to do. I think the biggest point of what I want to tell people or teach them, if when I'm able to, if I'm able to, I think I am if I figure it out, is to loosen the grip of what technology, the grasp that technology has on us, and then make decisions for yourself, because there are a bunch of addicting things we do on a day-to-day basis that actually stop us from making our own decisions and what we want to do. Do you repeat stuff to be satisfied? From my experience, it's mainly anxiety. I have infinite loops of obsessions. Oh, does it also mean like overthinking certain thoughts? That's what you mean, right? Overthinking thoughts, concepts, things like that. I don't have actual compulsions, but it's all in my mind. Hmm. Okay, overthinking, ruminating. Yeah, that can be very hard to get out of as well. Yeah, true. Hmm. Interestingly enough, I think that that is what happens in probably in silence. No, I don't think that that's actually where content might help. Even like that, you can chill for a moment and not think about these things. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you anyway. No one's interrupting, don't worry. That's fine. Mm, it's actually cool that you asked. That, what exactly did you ask? You were like, "How does this work?" It's pretty cool that someone cared how this works. Genuine cool question. Uh, which I might need to think about more as well. But yeah, I'll just be here figuring it out, and then you can treat this as a co-working space. Like I don't also I don't feel anything negative when you think, oh man, let me go friggin' watch something entertaining or something loud, um, and do that. That's completely fine. I just want to be here and maybe act one as a stopping point for people if they want to like calm down a little bit, uh, but still be on the app. Kind of. I think that's kind of helpful for some. And secondly, I'm very curious what people want to say. Like, if people also have inputs on the topic, but for that I would kind of need to lay it out in a good way so people actually know what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you. Like and subscribe. Sorry, this is not YouTube. I don't know. Ring the bell. Yeah, like and subscribe. Ring the bell. Join my community. Sign up for a newsletter. Yeah. I also had the decision to make if I want to put music. Company over here. I had the decision to make if I want to put music over this, right? I had like chill, jazzy kind of music that I had in the background, very quiet, but there was music, and I didn't put it because I thought, wait, that's that is that is kind of not the point again. That would be the stimulating part again. Mm, so I didn't do it, but even though it would perform much better, like perform, right? But trying to get away from the thought of performing. It's not about performance. With music, I'll fall asleep. Yeah, permanent viewer. Let's go. Yeah. Oh damn, you don't see the cat. I guess I don't. Oh, sorry. That woke him up that I moved just a little bit. Yeah. A car, yes. Thanks. Striped car. Mm, should know for last name that you're German. Yeah. Um, I mean, my parents were Russian, Ukrainian, funnily enough, and but I'm like second generation immigrant, so I was in Germany all my life. Yeah, so I was born here, and yeah, obviously named here, as you can see, Iderstein. Where are you from? Are you from not? From, doesn't sound like you're from Germany. You didn't write anything German. I'm guessing England. Boringly? How's that boring? What? Where is Italian boring? Are you serious? I heard you can get like €1 espresso. Yeah, I would also live. I live there. I wish I would live there. Yeah, same sentiment. That sounds amazing. What? I mean, okay, sure. I guess I don't have to be ignorant. I know there's some like issues with maybe I don't know. Is there like issues with money and maybe cleanliness? I don't know about those things. How sanitary some cities are. I don't know. I've heard about that. Guys, I know my country is beautiful, but it's you want to Damn, I guess I'll take it from you. I don't live there, so I don't know. Damn. Is there a country you would like to go to? It is beautiful with the hills as well. Or is there a country you're planning to go to? I think I'll move country at some point. Yeah, countries where you would like to live, not go. Live. If you have thought about that before, I was wondering. You- The UK. I knew it. I knew it. Nah. Okay, the UK in the in London or something like the big city. Still have to decide if I want to go like Norway or something like that. Or I think Norway, Denmark's kind of based. Nope, in the English countryside, that's also kind of based. Mm, very true. Like, yeah, you can expect horrible weather. Mm, so let me think about this again. I'm curious, by the way. Do you guys like it more if since you're here, do you like it more if let's say I was gonna go through this like in my mind or or by speaking about it? I can speak and go like, oh yeah, my experience is this and this and that, like speak my thought process. Or do you actually enjoy it more if I just shut the hell up and just work while you're there? Like personally, what do you think is cooler? Like which stream would you rather hang out in? The one where the guy works in quiet, or the one where we actually space? It's my ASMR. Okay. My experience. So first we want to start out with that I feel this. And next, I don't know how loud that is, but I think it's fine. So, yes, the issue here is that I feel like technology is pretty overwhelming and it's only getting more overwhelming. And this poses the problem that simple things that we're supposed to enjoy seem boring or we don't want to do them. Like going grocery shopping, or working out, um, things like that. I guess the more central point here is that it doesn't give us space to come up with original ideas or deal with our thoughts, structure our thoughts, because there's usually no space for that. I think a phenomenon, which I can also write down by the way, is that um, phenomenon that a bunch of people know would be. Let me do it like this. Perfect arrow. Let me go like this, and write. So others feel this, right? And I think a common phenomenon that you might know is overthinking. Let's call it overthinking, but I'll put in parentheses. Overthinking, not just overthinking, that would be kind of boring. Overthinking um, when you want to sleep. That's something I genuinely like, that I can relate to deeply, at least. Especially back in the day, I was very like even more overstimulated than today. And I noticed every time I went to bed, not for you. Okay, interesting. So can you relate to that, to the topic though? Like, is there a moment where you really notice it? You dream about what? What exactly? Sleep only. I'm gonna say add that this is the only free thinking time. Sounds kind of vague, but we'll refine it later. Thinking time. My day, thoughts, etc. Oh, damn, that's efficient. Going through that in your sleep. That's crazy efficient. If it works out as well, like if you don't feel like there's a lack. Can I help you get a better handwriting? You can't read it. It's gonna get better over time. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's just practice. But I want to write in cursive because it's fancy and cool. Actually, it feels kind of nice to write in cursive. Dude, this is fine. Look at that. Look at that fire line. Look, wait. You don't think this is amazing? Okay, this word is scuffed, but Look at that only. See that word? That looked good. I only write in cursive. Damn. Writing. Oh, writing. I need to write down writing as well. I guess that comes with solutions. They also teach us in elementary school. But most people actually, uh, a bunch of people just stopped using it at some point after like holidays or something. They start school again, and then I'm not American, uh, but they start school again. At least I did it, and then I started writing in the normal. What do you call this letter? Those letters? I don't even know. Like the normal writing, like A, B, C, like the normal stuff. Um, yeah, trying to regain that cursive print. They write in print. I think if I were to write everything I do in print, it feels kind of, I don't know. It doesn't have that vibe to it, that I want to have. Hm, mit dem Filler sieht es besser aus. True, actually. Also wanted to get something like that. That actually true. Yeah, it's actually important to practice with the what the hell is it called? Damn. Kauf dir ein Lemmy. Lemmy? Nah. Nah. I know there's a crazy store for writing utensils, like vintage writing utensils in Hamburg, and I want to go there. You can get crazy pens with ink and stuff like that. I want to get that. That sounds really cool. We need more vintage. Mm. Gleich mit Feder, yeah. If I could, I would. My screen time was crazy last month, like 10, 11 hours a day. Damn. That I think that is normal for quite a few people. 10 to 11 hours. What do you do in the 10 to 11 hours? Everything. Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I guess that's the whole bucket. Actually, yeah, I think there's a bunch of people that juggle all those services. Like, I actually, it is never ending. That's real. That is kind of real. I think, mm, well, back in the day, I just used to watch my subscription box on YouTube, and that was actually end, like it had an end, right? I wasn't subscribed to 100 channels. I could just watch the videos I wanted to watch, and it was peaceful, kind of. I just watched my subscription box. There was no algorithm involved, and ooh, I also want to write this down. The problem is kind of that a attention economy algorithm, emotional algorithm. Yeah. Yeah, it is very never ending. Like, obviously, it's never ending, bro. uh, yeah, but I like back in the day, things used to have an end. Like a movie you wanted to watch had an end. Your subscription box had an end. The algorithm wasn't that good. Yeah, the sidekick. I have another one somewhere. I don't know where he went. I guess he's in the other room. And so these days, you can watch forever, forever, which is wild. Mm, especially if you juggle the stuff like Netflix. I like how you laid out Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I think you Probably named it in that order, like getting worse and worse. Mm, even though Netflix, I don't, Netflix is also kind of. I guess you can just watch infinite Netflix these days. Can you? I don't watch Netflix because it's a very big time sink, but it might be better than shorts, actually. From my and my therapist said that I do it to escape from my mind, but it somehow worsened my anxiety. That makes sense. It makes sense that it lets you escape, right? That makes a lot of sense. Um, so I guess actually, so this is my experience. I do this. Oh, that's actually good input. I do this. I feel this, which is also I do this, and at some point it would be, but why? Right? Why do I do this? Shit, we don't talk about that age. Why? Like you ask yourself, why do you do it? And then why do others do it? Not only me. Same for other people. But why? Doing it exactly, doing it even if you know it's bad. I mean, yeah, but I think that has a simple solution, no? No, it just makes sense to me to kind of say not a simple solution, but why I can answer why you're doing it is probably because you don't have an alternative. I think that is the point. People don't have an alternative for unwinding or distracting themselves in a positive sense. Um, like that's like firstly maybe why. Simple answer would be you don't know. Like I almost wrote there is no alternative, but there are alternatives um, that you have to discover, kind of get used to as well, right? Uh, so uh, so let me. You don't have an alternative. I don't like. Oh, I don't like speaking to people like that. You mm, unknown alternative. Let me write un. That sounds weird. Undiscovered. Oh hell yeah, that looks good. Undiscovered. You think there is no alternative? I mean, maybe there is no alternative to completely numbing your mind with something else. I'm sure there must be. There must be. I think search, ask, and you shall find, or receive, or whatever. uh, look and you shall find. Undiscovered alter. I'll write undiscovered alternative because only then you can alternativa. I think if you, well, first you have to know if there is something you can search for, and then only then you can find it, kind of. So, why do you think there is no alternative? Oh, sorry, I completely misread that. You said you think there's no alternative is something that I'm supposed to write down. My bad. Why not writing this in German? Because, um, one, I think, well, obviously I would like to be able to like I would like other people other than Germans to be able to read my work or under follow what I'm trying to say. Mm, also, it's actually easier for me in English to find the right words, and I'm one of those. Exactly, you wouldn't be able to follow it right now, like if I was speaking German only. Um, maybe speaking German only. English also lets me kind of get into a certain headspace. Yeah, for Virginia. Mm. Yeah, it lets me think in a maybe like switch into the thinking mode. Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, man. Okay, no problem. And I'll keep doing it. I did speak some German when I was reading a German book. I have this here. It's in German, right? Psychokybernetik. Uh, it's about it's about changing your identity, which has a lot of things with it coming with it. Hört sich nach Scientology an. Yeah, I mean, it is like this doctor guy that's talking about how identity influences us, our identity, what we think, our self beliefs, and how to change them. So that's what it's about. Kannst du das Buch nochmal zeigen? Na klar, damit ich ein SS machen kann. That's the book. Mm, I think that is supposed to be one of it says it on the cover, but I don't like these commercial like cringe covers. But it might be right that it is like one of the core books you should read about if this topic interests you, because there's a bunch of people talking about self-improvement, identity, all these things, but that is like one of the core books that came up with it. So I would always go to these books to read about that. It's still easily digestible. So maybe check. Yeah, I do want to get more into that as well. It's pretty important, like self-belief. What the hell? Yeah, sorry for that sound if that was super loud. Mm, yeah, check that out. I think it's good. Updates for me. Nah, nah. The YouTube stream died for a sec. I don't know why. Because I'm also recording everything on YouTube for well, I want to document everything I speak about and how I figure it out. And then I want to make cohesive videos about it after. Like I stream it, right? I record everything, the 100 hours. It might be more as well in the end, but and then I want to make cohesive videos out of the footage I've made or the plan I've made and whatever, so people can find the video and then um like they have a starting point. You find this video, it says, oh, you're up at 3 a.m. or something. Why is that? Or do you feel overstimulated? And someone says, oh, yeah, I do feel overstimulated. Here's how to change it. And then I want to guide them from point A to point Z, point B, maybe, uh, how to escape, so to speak, in a row. Well, not at once. No, I will sleep between that. Aren't you up late as well? Yes, I am. Exactly. I can relate. And I genuinely, yeah, that I wouldn't be if I didn't have screens in front of me. Well, actually, I was sometimes when I didn't have screens, but I only got here because of screens. I feel very relaxed by this stream. That's nice. That's good to hear. That genuinely, that it's also kind of the point as well, that you can either be in here, there's no music on purpose and kind of work, or you can calm down, unwind. Yeah. So, damn, when I started this, it's so complex. By the way, I started like the process. Why you need credibility? What's the issue? What's the solution? How do you deal with anxiety? What other activities are there? How do you reframe your mind? That's also where the book would come in later. Damn, oh thanks. That's nice. I'm happy to read that. Is your name really Virginia, by the way? That's completely fine. I don't take any offense if you wanna watch other entertainment or go to bed. I'll be here for a long time, so you don't have to be here for the entire time or anything. Don't feel obligated. I was just wondering if Virginia is like a real first name for people. I don't hear that frequently. Das muss nochmal ins Reine geschrieben werden. We're not looking at that page anymore. It's just whatever. It was first structuring, brainstorming in Italy. Ah, okay. Mm, has an American name. Yeah, I also obviously thought about the American region, or what do you call it, country? I don't know. But it is actually a pretty banger name if you don't think about America. State, that's what we call it, state. Yeah, I thought about the state. Province. West Virginia, exactly. Any Fallout enjoyers by chance? Yes. No way. Mm, mm, mhm, mm. So yeah, that's also why I asked earlier. Do you like it? Would you like it more if I just shut up and work, or if I speak about what I do? But I guess yeah, I, in the end, the point will be to speak about what I do. Mm. And it genuinely helped, by the way, when we spoke about it. That was crazy. Like the my experience is I do this. Why? It's because I don't have an alternative. Uh, yeah. Which alternatives? Like if you guys have the brain capacity at this hour for this, I don't know. But mine, no. This is just completely random notebook. uh, do you guys know any alternatives? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get maybe like if this one when this one's full, I'll get a real one that I picked that I wanted to have. Yeah, I'm thinking like what alternatives are there for when you wanna distract yourself and numb yourself, except freaking social media, alcohol. Let me not name these things or I'll get restricted. Uh, but you know what I mean. Can I say substances? We'll see. So like what else? I was thinking sports, but there's no way you can just do sports all the time. That's actually not a real thing, I think. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it forces you to not think about stuff. Actually, it kind of works, but I don't think it's perma like watching videos. To be fair, at the moment, nothing gives me dopamine like this damn phone does. Yeah, that is also the issue, right? It's hard to go back, so to speak. It feels like going back. It feels like giving up on a level of dopamine. Um, maybe maybe something I am doing, going outside and touching grass, is doesn't always work in my opinion. Nature does help. Mm, but I have also been at the point in my life at some point, well, earlier before I went outside, right? Or did sports or anything. I was like chronically inside and online all the time. Uh, the thought of going outside was just horrible, man. Socializing as well. There are genuinely people that um cannot bear the thought of going outside or socializing IRL with people, like meeting up to do something. They cannot comprehend that idea. So it's also about those people, about getting out of that, getting them out of that position. But yeah, nature is useful. Socializing is crazy important, but not everyone can do it. Books, actually, books is is a very nice time sink. Genuinely can also distract you very well, but it is, boy, it is such a switch to go from TikTok to books. Yeah, books as decoration. Some people do have that. Hard to start. Yeah, exactly. It's super hard to start. I read somewhere. Who said it? Uh, what was it like? Start to read because you want to read what you're reading about until you like reading by itself or something. I don't know. I guess that didn't do anything. Yeah. Anyway, um, yes, but sometimes you have to force yourself to do that to get a different perspective. True, true, genuinely. Like not 24/7, but one time in 1 week, for example. You can start with like 5 pages a day. Mm, yeah, there. I think the one component is baiting yourself into doing something. Like, oh, I'm gonna read 1 page, and then maybe you read a little bit more. Um, but I think what is completely overpowered, you know, if you understand that slang, I don't know if everyone does. Uh, yeah, like what is completely overlooked is doing something that you're not used to, or starting something that you usually don't do, that might also have some friction as part of a group experience. So what A, I don't know what your name is, A, what A said is kind of relevant, because if I've reflected on things I started back in the day, there I started playing certain games. I know games, right? But they also had immense friction, like very hard to get into. But it had no friction at all because I did it as part of a group experience. I never thought about, oh man, I gotta grind out my 1 day of going out, like gaming, this learning this game, because I was doing it with other people. Games make you addicted, absolutely. That's why I prefaced it kind of, that it also games are also a mind-numbing activity in a way, which is still better than the scrolling, I would say. So like the yeah, the I think these days gaming is actually, especially single player, like story driven stuff, is better for you than watching shorts all the time. So even that could be an upgrade. That could be an alternative that I might actually write down. Maybe I want to write down like games and then the question mark, because I don't want to condemn all games. If you just condemn all games, it's that I don't think that's productive. You know, same as condemning all of YouTube or all movies. Like there's something to be gained from those areas. Mm, board games with friends is crazy. Uh, ooh. So we have games. Uh, so let me write down discovery. Discovery. Discovery has friction, like equals friction in a way. Friction. I just want to note what I said before. Uh, discovery kind of equals friction, and then I want to say group. Oh my god. Ex experience to overcome it. Uh, can you get your cat? Why do you always write car? Can you get your cat and put him her on your lap? He it's funny, he used to stay on my lap in the other room. I had my PC in the other room at some point, and then I actually got him to stay on my lap. That's so true, he is actually sleeping, yeah. I got him to stay on my lap, like genuinely got him to do it and like it as well, right? was like blown away that he did it. And then I switched rooms and he doesn't do it anymore. Yep, that's what it is. That's what we're doing. Uh, yeah, kind of just what happened. Yeah, they're adopted. Like he's adopted the other one as well. We adopted two cats that were already indoor cats because yeah, we didn't want to get outdoor cats and then like put them inside all the time. That didn't seem ethical. Yeah, he's very cute. Mm, what did you say? Games make you? Did I miss something? I hope not. Did like the reading part. I can actually write down books, but that is so hard to get into. Books. Oh, like even like thinking about it, that's me suggesting that to someone who is addicted to social media sounds like I'm just a boomer saying things that work for me. I don't know if I can like suggest that to someone who's actually addicted. Oh yeah, true. Books. True, true. Books question mark. Um Alternatives. So we have doing sports that numbs you, but I don't know if it's that good. Doing things in a group really helps, but usually you are in groups that's the issue also sometimes. I can actually also mention this at some point. That's yeah, groups tend to be in the same situation. Uh, I don't know, friend circles, friend. Mm, then we have like leaving the situation. Mm. The lines are in there to write on them. I genuinely don't see them. I don't even notice them actually. Wait, but I did use them. What do you mean? I did use the lines without even noticing. I swear to God, I used the lines. I know. In school, I used to. We were taught different. That's true. Yeah, but leaving this. So friend circles tend to be in the same situation. I know this also from firsthand in a way, firsthand experience. They tend to be in the same situation. So if you leave the situation, then uh, you lose commonality. I don't know if you can call it commonality, if that's a word. I would. I would let him mentor me. Him, her. I think is Virginia a female name? I think. Yeah, but like you lose similarities. Lose similarities. Similarities. When you do that, yeah, that's not an I. You lose similarities, and because you lose similarities, you kind of um friend circles tend to be in the same situation. I know this from first-hand experience. I guess I can add that too. Anecdotal. First hand. First hand sounds cool. First hand experience. Loose similarities, less, I guess, less common interests. Um, that's redundant, I guess, but I'll still write it. Fuck it. Less common interests, and this kind of leads to, how do you say that you are drifting apart? Drifting apart, and that is a fear. I would say fear. That's a fear. And that ultimately is that we can call friction. Even more friction. To that I can kind of add that it is sort of strange these days if you if you actually don't accept these new things. If you're someone who says, nah, I mean, personally, there are some people like me who would say, man, I find that so based. If you say I don't use AI, I don't like AI, if you say these things, I think that's cool if you say that. Um, but there are some people who think, okay, why are you shooting yourself in the foot? Or, all right, snowflake or something. I don't know what people think, but it is actually sometimes regarded, I think by the majority of people, it is actually regarded as strange if you don't have social media, if you don't have, if you don't use AI, and if you reject these modern things. That's even more friction. Uh, how do you write that down? Mm, how do you say that? I say that. It is kind of expected. I would say it's expected. Hmm. Expected expectation by the majority of people. It sounds so weak. That phrasing. Mm, not sure. Yeah, it's expect. I mean, but no one's expecting. I guess in a way, yes. People are expecting you, and like who expects you to use social media, or who, like, does anyone really expect you to use TikTok for 8 hours in a day? No one will say that, right? But do people actually expect that of you? No. But it is so normal to waste time on it. Everyone does it. Everyone does it. If you don't do it, are you strange? Like if I say I don't have social media, I don't even have a. If I say I don't have a phone, I don't have a phone, right? I don't have a phone or I don't have social media. People will think I'm kind of a special snowflake and weird, unless they are into that. That means I think I can say it like this. Okay, not we're rejecting slash not participating participating. They expect you to reply on time as well. Actually, very big one. I also had that experience when I tried dephoning myself. True. They rejecting, not participating in modern habits. Let's say, in destructive habits. Nah. Modern habits. I think self-destructive is kind of true though. FOMO, actually, yes, yes, okay. So rejecting, not participating in modern habits is weird. Is regarded, is regarded as weird. I did like that as well with the shit. Uh, so I did like replying on time is such a real one actually. So not only numbing yourself and watching stuff. So we have like shows that you're supposed to watch in some circles. I would say, uh, if you don't watch it, you're what are you doing? Mm, so I get, but that's kind of cool of me, I would say. So I do let me write down the yeah being like glued to reply on time. I do want to write down reply on time. I don't want to forget that one. Reply on time or immediately, right? What do you say on time? Yeah, but it's basically like people expect you to reply immediately in a way. Like in 1 or 2 hours, not in one business day, then you're just rude. This is what I think people assume sometimes. Mm, we have reply on time, and then we have yeah. What's the fear of missing out? You're missing out on conversations. Yeah, that is actually true. Yeah, you're missing out on trends, lingo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. We have we have FOMO. FOMO is more friction. Can do this, this, and this. FOMO is friction, and FOMO comes from, let's say, friends, uh, lingo. I would write lingo. I will know what I mean by lingo. Lingo, strange word. Lingo, colloquial language. If I were to phrase it professionally, group pressure. It is, yeah, it is part. It is kind of group pressure because it's also the fear of being like not fitting in, right? You kind of want to fit in, like that ties in with like trends, lingo, humor in a way also evolves through this humor. Uh, a slang, yeah, slang. That's the word. Thanks, slang. Um, so there's trends, there's slang, there's lingo, there's trends, slang, humor, slay. I didn't write slay, bro. Hell no. You're also missing out on connecting through social media. Oh, what's up, Linus? Thanks for the how do you say input actually. You're also missing out on connecting through social media by sending each other. True. Wait, that's actually valid as fuck. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wait, yeah, yeah. Trends, slang, humor. So we also have um sharing, like oh yo, how do you I need a moment to phrase this in a good way. Mm, I meant like if all your friends are talking about a show you haven't watched. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Trends, slang, humor, shows. All right, I'll just list random stuff that where I think there's the commonality about conversation and fitting in. Mm, trend, slang, humor, shows. I guess we kind of get the point, right? Trends, slang, humor, shows. This is ultimately kind of fitting in. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Fitting in. This is ultimately fitting in. I really like what Linus said. Wait, you're also missing out on connecting through social media with each other stuff. Yeah, like the frequent. If you're not using it, then you're not frequently reminding other people that you exist. In a way, it's like that. That is something, or like not reminding people that you exist, also connecting, right? Uh, I mean, how connecting is it actually to send each other memes? But if you're not doing participating at all, then it is actually maybe missing out really hard. So uh, frequent, like super frequent, frequent. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Frequent for the handwriting. Frequent. Um, that was my first cue in quite a while. Frequent. What do you say? So we have these trans slang humor shows that lets you fit in. If you don't have that, then you don't fit in. There's a FOMO of not fitting in. And then we have the possibility of frequently 24. And you, wink. I guess I'll just write a frequent interaction. Frequent interaction. Uh, but you're missing out on it, so it's kind of cancelled. How do I say it? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What was it? 2024. And I said, and you. So you're missing out on, I have to kind of add that actually. Missing out on. Missing out on frequent interaction. That's also FOMO. Not even, it might not only be FOMO, it also could be that you're genuinely not as connected as other people, but I don't really want to believe in that. I'm falling asleep, but I don't want to leave. It's fine, Virginia. I'll be here tomorrow again. This is a multi-day project, so don't feel bad if you have to leave. Mm. Yeah, Linus, like and subscribe. Thanks. What time? Should I set a like specific time? Damn, that would be kind of professional, wouldn't it? That would be crazy professional. Okay. No, it's not a 100-hour stream. I'll stream myself sleeping. No. Um, to get the organizational. Damn. Oh, my English is so freaking rusty. Holy shit. Do you watch anime? I watched a few classics. I would say I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched One Punch Man. Uh, Other random stuff, but there's not too much on my list. I think I started Attack on Titan, didn't watch it too far. We have the same time, don't we? I think it's similar. So I thought that I will go live on, let's say I'll go live at 15. 15, that's my promise. That's my promise. 15, I'll be live. Um, yeah. So I'll set an alarm. Why didn't you continue Attack on Titan? Well, I don't know. I started it. I think I watched until they're in some kind of camp and they're, I don't know, getting into being drafted or something. And it was very off topic. I'll not talk about it too much, but uh, it, I don't know, didn't catch me too much. I don't know, was missing something for me. Didn't, maybe there was some strange pacing or something like that. Genuine no clue, man. I'm kind of picky with what I finish, I guess. Good night, Virginia, dude. Have a good night's sleep. See you when your alarm goes off. Thanks also for being here. You were here for quite a while, man. Contributed like a lot of good thoughts. Buonanotte, damn. mm, so yeah, I guess let me finish this one thought that I have on had on the paper. It was that missing out on frequent interactions also is actually genuinely being in a deficit. You're kind of missing out on a tool other people have, and then you don't have it anymore. So you have to substitute it, and that is weird for some people. Did you guys ever consider writing a friend like a handwritten letter? Did you ever think about that? Like genuinely? To connect with them, right? Instead of sending them a meme, you sent them a freaking letter. Letter. Handwritten letter. I swear, if someone wrote me a letter, I would feel so honored. That is crazy. And no one does it, right? Um, Maybe we should bring that back. That is also more connecting than text, memes, whatever. Like, so maybe you're not actually at a disadvantage. I think it's a perceived disadvantage. Yeah, it would be crazy. Like if we just wrote each other letters. Even better if it was free to send each other letters. It always costs like €1 or whatever. It is. Like uh in a weird sense, you can eat like I guess it is real. You can even like smell the other person through the letter. In a way, like don't get me don't think I'm weird. Uh you do have to wait longer, but it's so much more intentional also because you're writing on paper. It will like yeah, you have to be very intentional with what you say. There is no way you get a letter from someone as a response where they just say okay, o and the letter o and k or something like that. There's a bunch of deficiencies that come up with modern. This is more the solution area, right? Reframing your mind, that I wanted to cover later. This is more the problem portion. Then there's solution, and then there's reframing your thinking. Um, but obviously, yeah, if you think about it, if you genuinely think about it, then you will notice that there is no real value in these frequent interactions. Like not real human value that we think there is, but real human value lies in other interactions. You can see someone once a month consistently in person, and I think you could have a better relationship with that person than someone who texts with them every day on Snapchat or something random like that. Uh, I mean, it's more unique than typing some words in your phone. Yes. We don't even write postcards on vacation anymore. So sad. Yes. Yeah, it's gone. Like no one does it. People can't like genuinely. The younger people especially can't even write properly. Like look at this. Like we literally have to overcome a friction to do this, to learn it. We don't have the tools to write letters in our houses. Some people like I don't have nice paper for writing letters. I feel like it's seen as weird today to be so intentional and show affection. Everything is real. Actually, that's true. That's true. I wait, everything is so casual. Yes, yes. Social interaction is casual, and um I completely agree with that sentiment because I agree so much that I even like I made a video about it. But it was something like it's cool to be casual and not act like you don't care too much about stuff. And this is also for social interaction. So that's true. Uh yeah. And is that just the I guess how do you get out of that? That's the solution. Okay, I guess problem is perceived disadvantage, but it is not real. Perceived disadvantage perceived, right? That's what we all think. If you also like social disadvantage, sorry, that might be more poignant. Oh my god. Um, so and this leads to FOMO again. I can't read that. Firstly, I can. Maybe later as well. I wanted to write social and then I thought of the word poignant and then I started writing poignant. Yes. Um, this is more the other things here were more the solution. Um, which we can also write. I kind of want to make it clear that this is a different area then. Um, missing out on frequent interaction, perceived social disadvantage, but let's say like letters, letters, spending time together, even calling someone has just so much more return on investment in a way. That's if you want to call it that. Like, yeah, it's also it's just a human function, right? Oh, I can name a few things. I won't pick up. Well, that will make it kind of hard, man. How can I connect to you if you don't pick up? Okay, you're only getting letters. Yeah. Mission accomplished. Yeah, so it feels like you're missing out on frequent interaction, but infrequent interaction has a higher ROI, even though it's a business word, but I think it's good. Um, even though I guess, yeah, not really what I would want to use. Frequent, it's more meaningful, I guess, but that's so broad. Um, intentional, let's not call it infrequent. Intentional interaction. Intentional interaction. Oh, what a sexy word, man. In- interact interaction. Um, intentional interaction, and that has a high or it's meaningful. How do you say it? It's meaningful. Mm. So like you mean selective interaction instead of intentional? Hmm. Also, yeah, that is actually part of it that is important as well. That you because it is more there's more friction to the interaction, so it has to be intentional, and that also makes you be selective. I think that's actually an important part of it. Said because because interactions are so frictionless, we actually interact with quite a few people, and where we don't really think about if we really value that connection. Like we have a bunch of connections these days with people, fleeting and not. So yeah, that's true. That's true. So intentional interaction has friction, but in a good way. In a good way. So we have friction. We only chit chat and small talk. Yes. Also, I can go on about how chit chatting and small talking, especially over media, especially over text in media, like we don't write out the letters at all. Like you don't see any emotion in what we're sending the other person as if it's text. Like if someone wrote you a letter, even if it's still letters, right? But if they were furious, you would be able to see that they were furious while writing the letter. So even that is completely different. There's so much miscommunication going on with well, yeah, modern communication styles. So that's also something you're avoiding. You're avoiding miscommunication and therefore fostering connection. If you write a letter, you really think about what you want to tell that person. Yeah, yeah. And if you even want to speak to that person, yeah, like yeah, that is true. Friction. So we have intentional interaction. That is friction in a good way. Let me put a plus, and then that leads to selective selective. Well, let me crunch that word in there. Interaction. Can already tell you, by the way, the more tired I get, the worse my handwriting will become. Probably. um. So we have more. So intentional interaction has more friction. That friction leads to selective interaction, and that leads to smaller circles but stronger ones. Can it get even worse? Oh come on, man! Cut me some slack. I think it's good. I think it has character. Don't you think it has character? Doesn't this look like a mad scientist's notebook? Actually, not there yet. It's like this awkward in between. Selective interaction leads to smaller circles. Shit. Smaller circles and contacts. What do you mean by contacts? I was gonna say this has friction. It leads to selective interaction. Yeah, even right and yes, interaction, and that leads to smaller circles. But these smaller circles are have a property to them, which is have multiple properties to them. They are genuine. Oh my god, genuine. They are genuine. They are um durable, deeper. Yeah, deeper. Yes. It's smaller contacts. Can you actually say it like that? Less contacts. Yeah. Smaller circles. I guess is actually kind of hard to understand, but um, I think I'll leave it like that for now, since I'll understand it later. We're gonna reframe this anyway at some point, like write it down in a better looking way. This is just sketching stuff and like getting the idea in. So I'll get a down the line this like this week, maybe next week. I'll get a digital. I'll have like a digital. Oh no, this is ironic, but it's not too. It's more analog, like a digital, writing board, whatever, like to actually write some stuff and correct stuff. If I say something wrong, make it look good, make it cohesive. Um, yeah, leads to deeper connections. That's true. Selective interaction leads to deeper interaction. Yeah, true. Deeper. Ay, ay, ay. How did I save this? Selective interaction, smaller circles, genuine, durable. Also build on trust. I'll just throw out some random words here. Trust. So they are genuine, durable, trusting, and um, intentional. No, I don't want to write intentional again. Honest. Yeah, that I think that's in the word genuine. I would say I don't want to say it too like redundantly. I guess they are. Yeah, genuine, honest. I think that's somewhat similar. Trust is, yeah, exactly. You trust that it is real and genuine, right? So yeah, what's up, Lotus? Thank you for the like. Um, so you have genuine connections, you have durable connections. I think they can withstand, like, they're not shaky, right? If something bad happens, if you get into a tough spot, these connections will not leave you alone. Like they are built on something else, like on an actual foundation. You guys had to do something to actually interact with each other, you know. So you can count on them. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wait, wait, not dependent. Can you not depend on them? Uh, how do you say it when you can trust that someone helps you? Goddamn. I guess. Um, you can count on them. Reliable. Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful, Linus. Thank you. Reliable. That is the word. Yes. Reliable. So genuine, durable, trusting, reliable, and deeper. So deeper. So these are also deeper connections, but I want to write that as a different point. Deeper um, connection. Oh no. Oh no. Deeper connection. So we have a deeper connection and deeper connection. Oh yeah, deeper connection. So great. Sounds great, right? It's a kind of abstract in a way. We don't exactly know what deeper connection actually does for us. But I'm thinking deeper connection also leads to a greater understanding of ourselves, or well, um, it leads to a greater understanding of ourselves, because if you actually have deep connections, you guys trust each other, then you are going to speak about things that actually matter. Like it's not going to be small chit chat, because you are not scared to speak about things that you value. You can speak about things that bother you deeply without fear of rejection. So this fosters, I would say, like we can even like immediately go like a greater understanding of ourselves, um, ability to share, ability uh, ability to share, ability to share. Mm, deep, deepest thoughts. Ability to share deepest thoughts, and this leads these two, I would say, lead to mm, greater. How do you say it? Greater mental health. I'll say. Mental. I get men. Let's write mental health, well-being, health. There's more to it. There's it's like mental health, but it's also kind of sanity. Yeah, you're not alone. Yeah, it's a sanity. It gives you mental sanity sounds very very rough, but it might be true. Like it. All right, I'll write these words with it. Sanity. Um, Sanity, and I wanted to say something that, like, if you are able to talk about your deepest thoughts and organize them through that, like the speaking to other people about your thoughts, like this, by the way, like this, but in this moment, helps organize thoughts you have, coupled with writing as well, like even better. Mm, and that gives you sense of, how do you, Zentriertheit? I don't know what Zentriertheit is actually. Centeredness? That's weird. Hmm. Actually, centeredness. That's wild. Self-awareness. Yeah. True. Yeah. Actually, those that's I think that's something else that's also, mm, cultivated through this. Wow, there's quite a few benefits. Okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking that, mm, genuine, like, there's more to it. I kind of also want to say that if you have genuine connections, then these people are, this is so important. I love when people can do this, is give you, genuine feedback, right? This is with the self-awareness that you said, Anna, is kind of the, like, if you have genuine friend circles, they are not scared to give you genuine feedback, and that genuine feedback leads to self-awareness. um this is so important, but I don't know if I can fit this on this page. I guess I'll write, like, there's a random one here. Honest feedback leads to, I guess, let's put it here. So yeah, let's put it here. Self aware, self awareness, and that self awareness leads to self reflection. That also leads to it. That's true. Self awareness slash reflection. Yeah, which otherwise wouldn't really happen. Maybe you would live in some kind of illusion. I see it all the time that people give each other some, and I don't want to say this in a Joker sense. Like, I see it all the time, but I mean, like, I see a bunch of people, mm, cultivating a kind of illusion with each other about something, right? Something that they find important, and they kind of, everyone plays this game where they, well, everyone has to play it, right? And then everyone cultivates this illusion in this friend circle about whatever it may be. Um, that Yeah, I don't have an exact example, but maybe you know what I mean. There are some, there are definitely people that have connections with each other, and they are built completely on some kind of facade or thing that they tell each other, some kind of illusion. Mm, yeah. So, and this leads to reflection, which is good. Self-awareness, reflection leads to, I don't want to say self-centeredness. That's not the word. That is not the word. That's the perfect word. Self-esteem. Well, it does actually, yeah, it does lead to confidence. That's true. Um, Centeredness. I guess you just freaking called centeredness, man. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It leads to centeredness, and because you are there, you also have confidence. Centeredness. What are you centered? Oh my god, this page is just running out of so much space. Centeredness leads to confidence. And this leads to mental health. And centeredness by itself also leads to mental health. All right. Boy, I think that's the solution page for now. God damn. Ah. Well, that's one solution in one aspect. Oh, Jesus. I guess quite a few things can come out of 100 hours. Oy. So, we have. I experienced this issue. You experienced this issue. I don't know the solution. Uh, is this a solution? Is this a solution? Other solutions are kind of hard to discover. Maybe use a group. Um, didn't go too much into this, I think. Yeah, I didn't go too much into this. Then we had, yeah, maybe use a group to help you. This is kind of the next page. Then we have friend circles tend to be in the same situation. So if you change your situation, then you lose similarities. You have less interests in common, then you drift apart. That's a fear, that's a friction. Mm, not participating in all of these things, kind of similar. You drift apart and then you're rejected. Mm, so here's all the things you're missing. All of this FOMO, but you can reframe your mind to understand that all of this is kind of garble. It's like it's kind of hard I guess I will really need to um try or how do you say it? Oh, I can't speak it. I will really need to put an effort, or one really needs to put an effort to say this cohesively to someone. Like, oh yeah, you really value these things. That's why you have FOMO, but you don't understand that intentional interaction is better and it actually gives you way more beneficial things that you are missing out on while you participate in these things. So, but we don't have the FOMO for this ever, which is funny, right? You don't have FOMO for this because few people do this. That's the biggest, I think that's the differentiator. Like, yeah, few people do it. That's why you don't think about it. So, yeah, so much for that solution. Oh, yeah, also, I think Anna wrote this earlier, no? You said something about progress. I actually skimmed over that. I didn't go too much into that, but it was important. Move forward together in progress. That is actually very important. Um, on a new page, maybe. I'll just write it down so I don't forget. Mm, strong, strong circles. Can, I don't know. Can progress. Much more efficiently, with more clarity and efficiency. With more. Oh, slash accountability as well. Accountability with more clarity and efficiency slash accountability. Um, since because they're reliable? No. No, I guess you can just have more, you can just accomplish more in a group. That is just the reality of it. Mm. Makes things possible that aren't possible otherwise. Hmm. I'm not gonna lie, we're reaching a point where I think it's time to take a break. You can bounce ideas off each other in a group. Yes. This forms clarity in a way, I think. So like this forms clarity and also helps structurize, I would say. First, for more clarity and efficiency. So what is echo? I've never heard of echo by audience. Is that a saying? That sounds like because I'm thinking of echo chamber, right? An echo chamber right now. That's not too good. Is that a good thing? You mean constant feedback? Like permanent reaction is sounds to me like you mean constant feedback by a group, which is good, kinda. Hmm. Actually, yeah, you get constant feedback by people you trust, right? And that really helps with progress. Genuinely true. Permanent reaction. Permanent. Echo biology. Constant. Let me actually put that down here. Constant, because we have constant feedback. Constant feedback. And I guess also accountability. And we have the possibility of bigger, like we're introduced to the possibility of bigger plans. That sounds weak, but I'll write it down. So I think you get the idea. Possibility of bigger endeavors, I guess. Bigger plans. Yeah, it's kind of the one side of it. Boah. I mean that's pretty good, honestly. I think we can, unless you guys have a crazy, like a crazy another thought that we can delve into. I think that's a pretty good spot to take a break. Like I started with this, by the way. I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to write down. Like genuinely. I was just like, "Oh, why am I talking about this? Let me explain. How can I boost my credibility? Oh, let me talk about books, my anecdotes and statistics. I didn't write that down. Um, what's the issue? What's the solution? How do you deal with anxiety? What other activities are there? How do you reframe your mind? There's like these broad points. And it really, I think it took some form, not gonna lie. And that only because of the bouncing off of each other and constant input, like genuinely. I think. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what I'll tackle tomorrow. But I think that's a good brainstorming. Yeah. Mm, think what we I think next stream I need to we need or yeah we need to delve in deeper into even though it's kind of shit. Thanks. I'm happy you appreciate them, Linus. You're the first one. um, I even though it's negative, right? The next time when we talk about it, but it needs to be talked about is why is this even important? Like you could see this. I believe you could see this. I can feel it, right? Someone could see this and think, okay, so there's a guy sitting in his room and he's writing down a bunch of hocus pocus about why relationships are important and things like that. But what's the actual gain from it? Um, Same. Yeah, there were actually some things I came back to that I couldn't read at some point, but that won't happen. No, no, that won't happen. But I think you could find these notes and think, damn, okay, someone thought about some stuff, but it could also but just be regarded as rambling, right? Or because I mean it is sort of unstructured writing. Mm, so I think what we will talk about next time is why like truly why is it important to talk about this? What are you is brainstorming, yeah. What are we mm, approaching? What is our destination if we don't think about this? I think that's the thing I want to talk about next. I should have started with this, but it's like brainstorming leads wherever. You can't really control that, right? But next time, I think I want to talk more about why is this important. There will be like we will talk about fears that you valid fears you can have. What do we want to achieve? Exactly, like that's the positive part of it is what we want to achieve, and but also the negative part is what happens if we don't think about this ever and we just continue like we never think about this. um we aren't we aren't very aware of this. We know of its existence of this topic, right? That with like intentional interactions could be better, having a smaller circle that you trust is better. We know these things, but actually having a structured analysis of it might actually change the course of where you're going right now. So I want to talk more about that next time, maybe the the whys of things, because the why is very important to genuinely have a good thinking process about it, because otherwise you're not truly committed. So yeah, also the what we want to achieve is the positive part. Let me actually write it down so I don't forget what I want to talk about next time. It was so next time I want to talk about why. Why? Tell me why. And then why will be split up into exactly why there's no cost in change. I mean, there is a cost. There's friction. The friction is stopping us. I would say there is a social friction stopping you from doing it. Also, not only social but habitual friction. Yeah, it might change your priorities and how you act when you have a clear goal in mind. Yeah, like clarity. We always think that I believe that we always think we know what we need and what we want, but usually it is very vague and there are no clear actionable steps. So if you don't have actionable steps, then you're not going to act out on it. Same, I have a different thing I did a few years back was writing down my top three values. That is something I can recommend to everyone. Like writing them down is very different to thinking I have values or thinking I know what I need to do. That is very different to actually writing the thing down specifically, because after I did that, I couldn't skimp on the things I wrote down anymore. Like you can't, because you wrote it down. You will definitely keep them in mind and know when you're skimping on them. So now, after we talked about this, for example, you will know when you are participating in. I feel like at least that you will notice more than before when you are participating in frequent weak interaction. And you might think about possibilities where you can have intentional interactions. That would be crazy. Like if that if that genuinely happens, right? If we talk about this and then you somehow think about this more and actually initiate intentional interactions with people, like meaningful interactions. That would be crazy. And that is something that can happen from it. Like if you just think about it and deal with it. Like the because you sat here and you watched this, you have dealt with this topic and you are what you deal with on a regular basis. So if you deal with this more and enough, then you will it will shape you. That is what it is. It is what it is. So that is how it works. So even just the mere exposure to the topic can make you aware of it and change your actions and surroundings. I did say friction quite a few times. That's true. Friction is everything, I swear to God. Like, friction makes so many things. It's so true. Off topic, but should I pull an all-nighter to study for my exam tomorrow? You have an exam? Like, are you from Germany? Or where are you from? Is it already past midnight? Like I was gonna say like today. Um, you have an exam today or the coming day. In what? No, not in the time scale. I guess that's also interesting information, but in what subject? Oh, graphic design. I mean, graphic design, it sounds kind of chill. Also cool. I could still log in. I mean, if you didn't study for it at all, and like if you don't know, if you have to study. No, 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 Anna, come on, Anna. Let's be real. Let's be real. Very bad spot if you didn't study anything, and if you need to study for it to know stuff. Um, but I think graphic design, it's graphic design. It graphic design exam doesn't actually sound too hard. I'm not gonna lie. I think you can manage. Huh. Well, let's think about it. It's a lot. it's a lot just common sense, well then the move would be to go to bed, because then you can actually function for the exam. Like if it's just logic and common sense, then you need to sleep. If you need, like, text on a poster should be big, wow. Yeah. But if you need to know like certain buzzwords or quote stuff, then obviously you need to read it right now. So, but that is a shitty spot to be in, I'm not gonna lie. I think what I would have done, if what I would do if I was in your spot, is either say, I don't care, this sucks anyway, I'm gonna sleep and try my best, or the all-nighter. Probably the all-nighter if I feel up for it. Examine what law? Don't tell me you're also graphic design. But still, you study what where you think you need to, where you need to. Like I guess. Ah, damn. Study for an hour and then sleep. I don't know, man. I think that that might not be the right way. Would it be? I guess yeah. Okay. 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 Since I'm also gonna take a break with this. That's not it. No, but maybe. It could be, it could be. He could lock in for like he could get into a certain flow state for like 20 minutes and get some info in, like just a little bit, but not too much. Actually, I think it might be real. Don't do the all-nighter. Try to just um turn this and everything off. Have no noise, no noise, right? No noise, just the thing you need to learn in front of you, and chill with it for like 30 minutes or 40 maybe. Learn on the plane. No, chill with it in front of you and just look at it a little bit. Just look at it without stress, you know? Yeah, but if you say pure lock in flow state for an hour, you have like crazy expectations of yourself. Sit in front of it without any expectations, right? And read it and like let it hit you a little bit, but see where that leads, I would say. But sleep is kind of important with common sense. So I think do that maybe for tops 1 hours, for 1 hour, and then yeah, see where it leads. If it doesn't lead anywhere, I mean you're already in a pretty bad spot. Then you have to wing it. But it sounds fine with graphic design. It's okay. You got it, bro. You really got it. I believe. I genuinely believe. By the way, I think you got it. You got it together. All right, then we'll figure it out tonight. He keeps writing down, uh, keeps writing about the actual important stuff. You know. Actually, next time, guys, you gotta bring your notes if you didn't already. I might also, um, in future live streams, I might get people on stage to speak about stuff as well. That sounds fun. But yeah, Linus, I think genuinely the only thing you need to do is chill. Like if you chill about this and think I'll just try my best. I'm in this situation, I'll try my best. You'll figure out a way. And I genuinely, I can feel that you can do it if you just chill. Good luck, bro. You got it. You freaking got it. Good night, man. I think we all will, probably. I'm also calling it. Thanks for being here. You had crazy inputs for some like even though you should have studied probably, you studied the real stuff. Like yeah, like the yeah, really 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 appreciated the inputs. All right. Mm, wait, stop not the pressure. I'll do my best too. You will, you gotta just chill, man. You just chill. Even the cat believes in you, man. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll call it a day. I'll be back at 15 o'clock. That's the time you can, if you're interested. Whatever. Not like I care at all. 3 p.m. Yes, I don't do PMs at 15. At 15. I'll be here at 15. But yes, that's what it means. I always mix them up. That's why. Yeah, so 15, we will be back. Freaking Anna, also thanks for your contributions. Holy shit. Crazy brainstorming together. That was good. Like genuinely that really led somewhere. I'm really happy with that. Because the start was rough. GMT plus 1. Boah. Is that the German time zone? Ja. GMT. 3 p.m. GMT plus 1. Damn. Okay, let me keep that in mind always. Okay. We'll. No? What? Greenwich. I mean, yes, it is plus 1, but the plus 1 indicates that we're in Germany. You know what I mean? Yo, thanks for the share. But I'm about to call it a day. Where I'll be back at 3 p.m. Greenwich time plus 1. So, yeah, that's where we'll be back. Genau. Yes. So, wait, let me do the math. In 12, yeah, 13 hours. See you then. Have a good one. Take care.